One of the very significant consequences of this economic crisis is not only automobile companies perhaps going under, or the variety of banks going under, and stores going under, and the for-profit centers really being hurt, but non-for-profits are also going to be hurt in this. There's a talk of 100,000 non-for-profits going under in the next 24 months. Now, as a person who cares about at least the Jewish philanthropic world and being involved in the Jewish philanthropic world, there's two ways to look at this. As always, either, oh my God, this is the worst disaster in the history of the world, Jewish life is going to go under and everything's over, or to say, look, this is a terrible thing. But this is an opportunity to rethink at the largest level the very business of Jewish nonprofits. What really is going on? Because let's be honest, and I'll say this, and it's weird, and I know I had an organization, and I can easily be hurt for this, but let's be honest. We all lived a little bit on the fat of the land. We had a lot of rich people around us who had a lot of money, and they were giving money away. They were giving money away, just like they were lending people money for houses that they couldn't afford. Well, the truth is, a lot of philanthropists, good motivation. I'm not judging the motivation. A lot of money was given away to things that were not innovative, were not even good ideas, but for whatever reason they were given. So this is an opportunity to kind of cleanse the system and to ask very purposeful and big questions again. You see, when you have a lot of finances, it's amazing how you can be sloppy. But once actually money gets tight, very important questions get to be asked like this. What really is the purpose of the renaissance of Jewish life? What really is the purpose of our concern for Jewish continuity? What really do we want Jews to be doing in order to revitalize and create the kind of renaissance in Jewish life we all seem to be so concerned about? Now that's a very hard question, because that gets down to our deepest values. And we have to ask things like this. What really is more important? Making sure that right-wing Jews somehow become more democratic, or making sure that let's start with Jews, that every Jew on the planet is fed? Or let's ask, really, what's more important? And this is going to be sharper, and I don't. This is just to help us all think. I'm not attacking. What's more important? To send upper middle class kids on a 10-day trip to Israel, all expenses paid, in a moment in which there are thousands of our own citizens being forced out of homes, not being able to feed their children? What really is more important? And the reason I say that is I'm one of the founders of Birthright. I wrote the first speech on Birthright ever given by Charles Bronfman at Hebrew University. I wrote the speech, so let's be very clear, I'm for Birthright. But what happens in a moment of economic crisis is you have to ask, what really manifests your values? What really witnesses your values? What really expresses your deepest concerns? And when you do that, it turns out it re-energizes the body politic itself to actually take care of things that may be second-level priorities or third-level priorities. But if you take care of a third or fourth-level priority before a first-level priority, you actually undermine the very purposes that you're serving. So I would suggest this, and it's Jewish 101, but it's psychology 101, it's Maslow 101, there is a hierarchy of real needs. And you know what? Worrying about hunger trumps worrying about the teaching of Torah. It turns out, Jewish wisdom says, pikuach nefesh, the saving of a life, is doches, supersedes even the study of Torah. Now, you know why? Because the truth is, if you're studying Torah while people are starving, what the hell is your study of Torah about? So what we have to do is we have to give people the food, making the claim to our young people as we're doing that, making the claim to our own population as we're doing that. That you know why we are so energized about making sure that people's physical bodies, their food, and their psychological needs, and the Jewish vocational services, the jobs, that people's real physical needs are taken care of? because that's actually what the Torah teaches us. And when we finish with that, and when we deal with those really crises, then let's go to the second level, and then we should argue about that. I'm for day school, and I'm for teaching right-wing people how to be democratic, and I'm for birthright, and I'm for Heeb magazine, and I'm for everything. I'm for everything Jewish because I love everything Jewish, including the things I hate. But the real innovation at this moment is to get back to basics.